That first half was fast and intense.
Yeah, I think that first quarter, I don't know, that was one of the first or fastest first quarters I think I've been part of.
Exactly. I don't think the clock stopped a single time hardly. I mean, it just with running the play. I mean, you guys really moving the ball, so you can tell the offense is picking up confidence, coach, and stuff like that. Still, just not over the hump of getting it into the end zone yet. But man, the plays are there, and really play for play, we matched them in that first half.
Well, we talked about yesterday and coming into this game, both before the game and at halftime, about doing the simple things savagely well, right? And I think in that first half, you guys talked with the two guys we brought up about the fact that we were able to move the ball down to the 30 or the 20, and we're not able to put it in. And you go back, why is that? And it's the simple things. It's a tackle not stepping with the right foot. As simple as that is,
Right.
It kills the play. It's, having a great block and just having your hands on the outside so they call holding on it. And we've, got a tremendous gain on that. Not seeing the backer coming through on the inside on a pass, and all of a sudden Kelsey's running around. Or defensively, your eyes shifted to a different dude. And all of a sudden they're behind us. So, as I said to one of our players, we didn't lose the game because of you, right? It's team.
Right.
There's a lot of moments in this game
Absolutely.
that cause us to be in where we're at. So you got to do the simple things savagely well, and we're not doing them.
And one of the things, we're not trying to single out anybody at all either. The center snap a couple times was a little low, kind of the momentum, offensive coach, and that little bit of delay sometimes. It's just enough to give that defender time to fill that hole that might be there if the snap's just a little bit crisper into the midsection.
Yeah, what's tough against these guys, and we've played them for several years, we know what they do. Their inside guys are what you call grubbers, and they get merit badges for basically they're never off the ground and they're just trying to wreak havoc. So they're getting into the center's legs as quick as possible.
Sure.
And there were a couple low snaps, but overall it was pretty good, and we were getting them in positions that allowed us to maybe move the ball a little bit. We just are not finishing.
Now, I have to ask, what was happening on the kickoffs? I mean, it seemed like the Canucks were getting flagged every kickoff.
There was some personal foul stuff. I mean, it's high school kids being out here and, energy going, and Friday night, and nothing egregious, on either side. And, we always have those kind of battles with Midland. They're always close. There's very few that are large margins like tonight. We had one several years ago that we came down here and beat them pretty handily. They're usually pretty close, and they're usually tough battles. I mean, they're tough kids here with the Chemics, and our kids generally rise up to the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Example, the Big House opening game last year, coming from a big deficit in that heat to win that game. Coach, Mount Pleasant comes to town. Homecoming week, never a coach's favorite time. They love that kids can have fun, but man, the distractions are plenty out there. And what do you do to help keep those kids focused?
I think homecoming still is a little bit different than it was when we all went through. There's not necessarily the float building, the hallway, decorations, all that stuff. So it's maybe not quite the homecoming we're all familiar with, or we went through, the parents and so forth. The bottom line is, I told our seniors, you got 3 home games left. That's it, and go out as a winner. I mean, there's probably not a single person in the state of Michigan that's going to pick TC West against Mount Pleasant, right? Great program. But we're going to come back on Sunday night and get after it. And we know from watching film, we know from what our kids are capable of doing, if we can do the simple things savagely well, we've got a chance. And Midland's well coached. I know coach over there, Mount Pleasant, I know the coach over there very well, and they've always got a strong program, so it'll be exciting to go against them. And the good thing is our kids got 3 home games left, so they can just focus on getting better and get out there and show that we're a better team than what our record is right now.
And Coach, you got a group of good kids here on this team. I mean, every one of the kids that you have brought up and the kids that we've met throughout the year, the past couple of years, it's just been outstanding young gentlemen. They really have been good kids.
Yeah, they're great kids, and it's unfortunate. I feel for our seniors right now. that have given a lot and worked really, really hard, and never in their wildest dreams would they imagine they'd be sitting at 1-5, and looking at playoffs not being an option, and what do you have to play for? So that's our job as a coach, and I know I've got some seniors down there that want to end it the right way. They're giving everything right up until the end. You can see the emotion coming out of them. The big thing I told them is you can't divide. If our team decides we're going to divide, point fingers, start placing blame, and decide I really don't care as much, the next 3 games aren't going to be fun for anyone. But if we decide we're going to stick together and continue to get better and get after it and do everything we can, then regardless what the scoreboard says, we can have some fun the next 3 weeks.
And that's what JJ and I both talked about, Coach. Body language wise, you can never tell what your the score is on the scoreboard, because they're playing like they're up 35-0, or they're playing 27-20, whatever the game is. Their heads are in it. They're playing with energy. They're playing with effort. I don't see hands on the hips and being disinterested. The kids are coming and they're bringing it every play.
Well, I think that goes back to a little bit, at home and everywhere else, they're getting the right message from parents and the people that are within the program that knows what's going on, right? Not the people that have no idea, or the fan walking by from Midland, talking about what the score is.
Yeah.
You don't even have pads on. The guys that got pads on, the families that are cleaning the uniforms and taking care of the meals and stuff, know how hard these boys are working, and it's a tough spot. There's not a lot you can say about it, and they just keep fighting, and that's probably the best part, is that they understand we're just gonna keep fighting. They're not happy. They're not in a good position right now.
Sure.
Feelings wise and everything else. But they're not to a disgruntled state where they've given up. And, that says a lot about their character. It says a lot about the households that they're coming from, that they're preaching the right things and telling them to continue to fight no matter what.
Yeah, and a lot to be said about you and your coaching staff too, Coach, because they get it from you. That means they're practicing that way. They're, like you said, they're getting it at home. There's not dissension of the parents saying, well, how come Coach doesn't do this, doesn't do that? None of that's going on. The kids are coming and giving their best effort, and it shows on that field where we're proud to be part of the program.
Yeah, we got 3 games left, and they're all at home. So our job is to get better again this week and go beat Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Greg Vaughan, thanks for joining us on the post-game show. You're always gracious with your time. We appreciate it, and let's beat the Oilers next week.
All right, appreciate it, guys. We are
Titans.